Hello friends, welcome back to your own channel Engineering Network. I am back with another important topic. Today I will try to explain thumb rule for beam size. I will try to calculate the depth and width of a beam with the help of two different methods. Both these methods are very simple and easy. So this is very important because if you have any idea about these thumb rules, then you will easily be able to find out the size of beam at building construction site. So if you watch this video till the end, then I am sure that it will clear all your concept about depth and width of beam. So before that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then kindly click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon so that you will never miss a video from Engineering Network. Okay, so in this video I will talk about thumb rule for beam size, and I will try to calculate the depth and width of a beam with the help of two simple methods. So let's start with the first method. So while working on a building construction site, you must have faced different types of beams in a building construction. So there are different types of beams that are commonly used in the construction of building. First one is simply supported beam, second is one in continuous, third is both in continuous, and fourth is cantilever beam. Now for all these different types of beams, we have got different thumb rules as well according to IS 456. So for simply supported beam, the thumb rule for beam depth is L divided by 16. For one in continuous beam, the thumb rule for beam depth is L divided by 18.5. For both in continuous beam, the thumb rule for beam depth is L divided by 20. And for cantilever beam, the thumb rule for beam depth is L divided by 8. Where in all these four thumb rules for beam depth, the length L should be the effective length of the beam, okay? So these are the thumb rules for all four types of beams that are commonly constructed in buildings. Now let's take an example and see whether these thumb rules actually works out or not while calculating the beam size. So let's say I have a beam, right? And if you look at that, this is actually a simply supported beam. The length of this simply supported beam is 5000 millimeter, which is equal to 5 meter. Now we know that according to IS 456, the thumb rule for the depth of a simply supported beam is L divided by 16. Okay, so here I have the length of this simply supported beam, which is 5000 millimeter or 5 meter. So I will use this formula, and after putting all the values, I will get the depth for this particular simply supported beam, which is 313 millimeter. So the depth of this simply supported beam is 313 millimeter. Now we have no idea about its width. So if this was a square shaped simply supported beam, then its width will be same as its depth. But in this case it is in rectangular shape. So we have to find out its width as well. Okay. So according to IS 456, the width of beam is D divided by 1.54, where D is the depth of the beam and 1.54 is a factor of safety. Remember, the thumb rule for width of beam is same for all types of beams, okay? So width of beam is equal to 313 millimeter, which is the depth of the beam, divided by 1.54, which is equal to 209 millimeter. So this simply supported beam have a depth of 313 millimeter and width of 209 millimeter. So this was the first and most recommended method to find out the depth and width of a beam. Now let's talk about the second method as well. Suppose you are working on a building construction site and your supervisor asked you to calculate the depth and width of a beam, and you have no idea which type of beam is constructed in that particular building, and also you don't remember the four thumb rules that I have explained in the first method. So now what will you do? Well, I have got another very simple and easy thumb rule, and the advantage of this thumb rule is you can use it for any type of beam. So according to this general thumb rule, the depth of beam is equal to span length divided by 12. Here the span length should be the effective length of the beam, and this 12 should be in the range of 10 to 15. It could be any number between 10 to 15 according to the conditions. Like you can take any value between 10 to 15, it could be 11 or it could be 15 or 14. So here 12 is the recommended value as per IS 456 codes. So for example, I have a beam, right, and its effective span length is 4000 millimeter, which is equal to 4 meter, right? So if I apply this thumb rule here, then the depth for this particular beam would be 4000 divided by 12, and it will be equal to 333.33 millimeter, or let's just take it 334 millimeter, and this will be the effective depth of the beam. So as you can see, this is how you can easily find out the beam size by using the second method. Here one thing you must remember is the second method is not 100% accurate. I mean the result of both first and second method will not match, and that's why it is not recommended to always use in building design. Also remember that the minimum beam size is 225 mm by 225 mm. You cannot take beam size less than this. So this is how to calculate the beam size. I hope you would find this video informative and it will clear your concept about beam size. So please like this video, share it and subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell icon so that you will never miss a new video from Engineering Network. See you in the next video.